Hi guys and welcome to Horologique. I'm Olivier. Today I'm going to be unboxing and doing the first impressions video of this Pagani Design PD-1693, and this is a homage to the vintage Rolex Explorer 2, the very first Rolex Explorer 2, one that on the used market cost a lot of money. And I had filmed all of the unboxing, and silly me, I had forgotten to put batteries on my microphone, so it's all silent. But anyway, I'm gonna put that over this video so you can see the whole unboxing. I just did that like 5 minutes ago, so I have not had a look at the watch yet. So let's go. I'm going to open and see this, and you might have noticed that they have sent me one of these big boxes. It's pretty nice. It's much better than their actual box, but at this price point it really does not matter. And what price point are we talking about here? We're talking about around 110 euros. That's, I think, around $140, a bit less maybe, which is a bit higher than Pagani Design usually sells its watches for. So let's see if this is any better than what they are usually accustomed us to. And full disclosure, the Pagani Design official store have given me a small discount and asked me in exchange to put the link down here to this watch should you desire to buy it from their store. And if you do, I get a small bit of commission to help the channel going. Okay, so let's go. Let's see this watch. Alright, first let's see what they put in the box. They have given us a nice modern bond NATO. That's pretty nice of them. Here's the watch, which we will put aside for now. And we have, in this little compartment here, we have the instruction manual, and we've got the warranty card, which is of course unfilled in typical Pagani Design manner. And we have this small screw driver to size the bracelet, which is held down with screws. Very good. As you can see on this watch, there's plastic all over. So let's go. Allow me to take off all this plastic. Okay, here's the watch. And from first sight it looks pretty good. Let me just size it for my wrist and I'll be back with you. Alright, so I have sized it to my wrist size, and already my first complaint is that this little screwdriver they provide does not fit the screw heads well. I believe I have already spoken about these, but this is a bit too large and it does not fit here. It's a minor gripe, but if you start your story with this watch with a gripe while trying to size it, well, it's not a nice start. But besides from that, if you look at it, I mean, at first glance, it appears very nice to me. At least looking at it, it does not appear to have any apparent and big, huge defect at first sight. That dial looks very nice, actually. That Cyclops, though, looks very small. That Cyclops does not seem to be enlarging a lot. Just a side note, the Cyclops does not appear to be crooked. We shall see that later, okay? But first let's begin with dimensions. And we've got a diameter of 42. There you go, 42.3, I get it, but it depends where you measure. You've got height pretty high because of that sapphire top hat crystal, but you've got a height of 13.6 there, which is not really high if you consider the thickness of this top hat sapphire crystal, and that is a very nice detail, because it reminds us of the top hat crystals that you had on vintage Rolexes at the time. So that is very nice and very period correct. Okay, the log to log is 49.7, so almost a 50. And the log width is 20. Funny, I was expecting 22, as they have done before, and usually watches with 42 millimeters have a 22 millimeter log width, but here you've got 20, but it does not look disproportionate. All right, let me just zoom out a bit. Okay, it does not look disproportionate, it looks pretty good. Not like, say, a Seiko Sumo, for example, with its 44 and 20. This looks pretty good, actually. Let's look at the dial, and the dial is matte, of course, in touch with the vintage Rolexes of the time. And you have noticed that I have bought the faux patina version. I'm not sure of what this is, Superluminova Old Radium. We shall see the lume on the full review, but it looks like Superluminova Old Radium. I have not checked the lume, of course, yet. And from a glance, the indices here look pretty well made with those alternating indices. And as you can see, of course, they alternate in height, which was characteristic of this watch. I don't believe Rolex has repeated that design again. You've got at the top of the dial, you've got the Pagani Design printed. It's a pretty thick printing, which looks good, and the same kind of text at the bottom of the dial with the GMT. Let me just try to zoom a bit more. There you go, you've got GMT, automatic, water resistant, and as you can see, the GMT is in orange to match the GMT hand, which is a very nice touch, and which I believe is the way Rolex does it. But as I was telling you, that Cyclops does not seem to be enlarging a lot. I would say 1.5 at most. Yeah, maybe not even 1.5. Okay, let's check if we've got Sapphire here. And yeah, we've got Sapphire. And do we have Sapphire on the Cyclops as well? Because sometimes they do not. Yeah, we've got Sapphire on the Cyclops as well. As this is a quite larger watch than the Rolex, which was a 40, the hand size is, I believe, homaging the size from the present day Explorer 2s, which are 42 as well. So this is a kind of hybrid between the vintage Explorer 2 and the Explorer 2 from this day and era. And the bezel, you have got a pretty nice fixed 24-hour bezel. With the brushing, it is brushed, and the brushing is radial, which is pretty nice. Maybe you can see it there. The engraving of the number seems to be pretty well made. Again, it's a first impressions video, but I believe there's a leap of quality here from what Pagani Design have usually offered us, at least from what I can see up to now. Okay, let's go to the case. The shape of the case reminds us of the older Rolex cases. There is no maxi case. For example, see here on my Chronos, there's the maxi case with those big thick lugs, and here you do not see that. The lugs are thinner. At the front of the lugs, you've got a vertical finish, which seems to be done pretty well, pretty fine grain, and much better than on their Explorer 2, for example, which I gave them a hard time for. And you've got, of course, polished sides, and you've got a signed crown, which is good news. Well, Pagani Design pretty much always does signed crowns. Okay, and you've got a newer style thick crown guards as well. Okay, we talk about the case, let's talk about the crown. All right, it's good to know that it's a screw down crown again. Wonderful. And there you go, it's unscrewed. The sensation when you hand wind the movement, it's pretty good, as you can hear. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, it's pretty high pitched, and the movement here is a DG5833A GMT movement, and it beats at 21,800 beats per hour, and it has a GMT functionality, which works a bit differently than the ones that we are used to. Let me show you. If you pull the crown once, if you move the crown counterclockwise, you can freely move the GMT hand, as you can see there. There is no setting in determined places like on other movements, and as you can see there, if I move it clockwise, you can quick set the date, and of course the movement hacks. And let's talk about the bracelet. You've got a 3-link bracelet here. Let me check if they are really 3 links, because these guys sometimes play it sneaky and they put you... Yes, these are really 3 links. See how it moves there? Yeah. Vertically brushed, and it's brushed in front and on the sides as well, with that vertical brushing in there. Of course, it has solid links, solid end links, and it is held together by screws, as I was telling you at the beginning. Let's go to the clasp, and the clasp is signed Pagani Design, as you can see there, and it's a double push security system. You've got a milled clasp, which is very nice. And you've got 3 levels of micro adjustment. Oh, I see something I do not like, and it's that pressed metal. Oh no, come on. Well, I will not be using that anyway. It's a pressed metal diver extension, but I will not be using these anyway. Even though the 200-meter water resistance of this watch, you might be tempted to dive with it. Well, 200 meters you can shallow dive. The back of this watch, well, I believe it's the first time that I see a Pagani design without an exhibition case back. So this is a pretty welcome change. The engraving is very well done, and you've got here an engraving and laser etching better of the sea, the ocean, with a Pagani design and what appears to be a cardinal point circle. Pretty nice. This is welcome. This is very nice. I didn't expect that. This has been my first impressions. Overall, pretty positive. This watch looks good. It is finished in a pretty good way, I believe. Yeah, it's kind of an upgrade from what they have been offering lately. An upgrade in price as well, even though it's, I believe, as expensive as the Black Bays and the Explorer 2s when they came out. Of course, wait for the summer sale starting on the 21st to get it at a bit of a discount. If there is interest on this watch, I will be making a full video with lume and movement accuracy report and all the good things. So there you go. Thank you guys so much for having watched this video, and I'll be seeing you very soon on the next one. Goodbye.